All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're here to take those really complicated stories and, well, make them make sense.
So today we are diving into the absolutely wild story of Imran Khan. I mean, think about it. This guy goes from being a cricket superstar, a national hero, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and now he's in a prison cell. And this quote right here from a major newspaper, it really paints a grim picture. It says, his future looks, well, incredibly bleak. And right now, he's reportedly being held in solitary confinement. We're talking severely restricted access to anyone. So the big question is, how did he end up here? To really get it, you gotta rewind. We need to go back, way back, to a time when his arena wasn't politics, but the cricket pitch.
All right, let's get into it. Before he was ever a politician, Imran Khan was a household name for a totally different reason. He was a global sports icon. For a whole generation, his name was Pakistani cricket. Just look at these stats. As a batsman in Test cricket, which, is the toughest form of the game, he averaged almost 38. Now that is a seriously impressive number for any top-tier batsman, but for an all-rounder, that's just incredible.
And then you flip the coin to his bowling, and wow, it gets even better. His average was just under 23. That basically means he was taking a wicket for every 23 runs he gave up. That's not just good, that is absolutely world-class stuff. It put him right up there with the very best fast bowlers of his time.
But the peak, the real crowning moment that made him a legend, that was 1992. He was the captain, and he led this scrappy, underdog Pakistani team to win its first and still its only Cricket World Cup. After that, he wasn't just a sports star, he was a national hero, period.
But you see, for Khan, the cricket field wasn't big enough. He had much bigger ambitions. He wanted to completely reshape Pakistan. And let me tell you, this next part of his life, it was going to be a much, much tougher fight than any cricket match. And his journey into politics was, well, it was a real slow burn. He started his party, the PTI, way back in '96. But for years, it was basically a non-factor. I mean, in 2002, they won just one seat in the whole country, and it was his. The real turning point didn't happen until 2011, with this huge rally that put him on the map. It took another 7 years after that, a whole 22-year struggle, before he finally reached the top in 2018.
His whole platform was built on this one powerful idea, Naya Pakistan, which just means New Pakistan. He was promising this vision of an Islamic welfare state. But the key thing was getting rid of what he called the corrupt political dynasties. The Bhuttos, the Sharifs. He basically told voters they'd been running the country like their own personal family business for decades, and he was the one who could finally change that.
And then in 2018, it actually happened. The promise became reality. The cricket legend was now Prime Minister Khan.
And he won big. I mean, look at this number, almost 17 million votes. That was a record. No other single party in Pakistan's history had ever pulled in that many votes. It made his party the biggest in parliament and gave him the clear authority to lead the country.
But his time at the top was anything but smooth sailing. It was turbulent, and it ended pretty abruptly. After less than 4 years, he got kicked out of office through a vote of no confidence. Basically, Parliament voted and said, we don't back you anymore, and that was that. A huge part of this was a major fallout with Pakistan's incredibly powerful military, the very same people who many believe helped him get into power in the first place.
Now, after being removed, he didn't just fade away. Not at all. What came next was this super fast, super dramatic escalation, a political firestorm, really, that took him straight from the Prime Minister's residence to a jail cell.
So once he was out of power, Khan did not go quietly into the night. No way. He hit the streets, organized these massive protest rallies. But everything really boiled over on May 9th, 2023, when he was arrested in this really dramatic fashion. That just lit a match, and his supporters rioted. The government's reaction? A massive, sweeping crackdown. And that move, that changed everything for him and his party.
And the pressure from that crackdown was just immense. It pretty much took a wrecking ball to his party's leadership. You had all these senior figures, his top people, suddenly appearing on TV in these press conferences, all saying they were resigning from the party and quitting politics. It was a systematic dismantling.
So where does that leave him today? Well, he's facing a literal mountain of legal cases. The fight has completely shifted. It's not a political battle on the streets anymore. It's a legal one, and he's fighting it from inside a prison cell.
And it's not just charges. We're talking major convictions with long sentences. You've got a 14-year sentence for corruption, another 3 years for illegally selling state gifts, but the real political bombshell is the Cipher case. He got 10 years for that one. He's accused of mishandling a secret document, a diplomatic cable that he waved around at rallies, claiming it was proof that the U.S. was behind a conspiracy to get rid of him.
Now you might be thinking, what about appeals? Well, even if his legal team has a great case, the system itself is a huge obstacle. The courts in Pakistan are just swamped with a massive backlog of cases, so his appeals could literally sit there for years before anyone even looks at them. And that right there is the biggest reason why almost nobody thinks he's getting out of jail anytime soon.
It's also really important to zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. All of this is happening in a country that Freedom House, an organization that tracks democracy, rates as only partly free. I mean, a score of 32 out of 100, that's pretty low. And a key reason they cite for that score is the huge influence the military has over politics. For a lot of people watching this, Khan's story is just the perfect example of that reality. You can rise with the military support, but you will fall hard the moment you lose it.
So, all of this leaves us with a really big, unanswered question. Imran Khan built this huge populist movement. He tapped into the hopes of millions of people. But now, with him locked up and his party basically shattered, what happens to all that energy? What happens to all those people who still believe in his promise of a new Pakistan? Honestly, that's the great unknown.